morning. It is a crisp October morning, and I thought, you know what better way to start a beautiful autumn day like this than to cozy up with some baking this morning. So that is the plan. We'll see what all we get done. I did, over the last couple of days, go ahead and mix a bunch of different doughs, and so I have a lot of these batters just ready to go here this morning. And my barn crew, Josh and the kiddos, will be in soon and ready for breakfast. So first up is actually these pumpkin muffins, and they are sourdough. This is, again, my first time trying this recipe. You guys know I have a terrible habit of that. We'll bake those up first, and then we'll head on to a number of more things. Feels a little bit like a baking marathon this morning, but we'll see what all we can get done, and I'm excited to make this house smell like fall. Muffins to finish. They're almost done, but I want to go ahead and start churning this ice cream base. So I mixed it yesterday evening so that I could have it chill overnight, because you do want it to be completely cool before you put it into the freezer. I've talked about my ice cream on here before. This is the freezer that I use. I'll try to remember to link it down below. But this is a salted caramel ice cream, and all that I do to mix that is I first caramelize 1.5 cups of sugar, and then I add, my 2 quarts of cream, my 20 egg yolks, all of that. I have talked about that on here a couple times recently, but I'll leave that for you in the description box as well. It is the next morning now. It is completely cooled, and we're gonna churn this, and then I thought it would be really fun to make the salted caramel base, but then add in chunks of apple pie. Does that sound weird? I think it sounds delicious. So we need to yet make the apple pie. I want to add that later once the ice cream is nice and thick. Otherwise it just kind of turns into a mush. So we'll mix the base now, and then we'll work on our actual pie here in a little bit. And I'm gonna move this over to the next room. This thing is a little bit noisy, so I like to run it in a different room than I'm in, but we'll go churn it over there. Done churning now. I also went ahead and just got out a bunch more of these doughs to start coming a little bit more to room temperature. But first I want to put this in the freezer. Now I like to freeze this semi-hard before I put add-ins in, because I like it to be a nice ripple effect, if you will. So I'm going to freeze this now for a couple of hours before we continue on the process of the ice cream. Working with again in today's video. If you've been around for a while, you know that they have my favorite laundry detergent to date. I really enjoy using their products, have had such great results with them, and I'm excited to share them with those of you that are maybe new to Blueland. We all know that we have water on hand, right? We don't want to be paying for the water in our products, and so they actually just send you the tablets. So it's little tablets that you can put in. They have a variety of things. There's toilet bowl cleaners, there's dishwasher tablets, there's laundry tablets, there's hand soap tablets, all these different ones. So you just put it into your cleaning bottle or whatever you're using, and then fill the rest with water. So I love that about them. They are hypoallergenic and sourced from vegan and non-GMO ingredients. They are effective but also so affordable. I was actually kind of blown away with this, and you can save even further by signing up for one of their subscriptions, which is what I did. So this is the laundry starter set. You have your tablets, which by the way, this one is in Spring Bloom. I love this scent. And then it comes with this cute little container that you can put all your tablets in. This has 60 tablets in. Now, we live on a farm and we get our clothes really dirty, and I have a big washing machine, so I have a big drum. I usually will put in 2 of these. If you do not live on a farm, or if you do not get your clothes as like stained and like really dirty, you probably would only need 1 of these. Anyways, I'm so excited to share that again for those of you that weren't here the first time or the second time. So if you would like to give them a try, they are offering 15% off of your first kit by going to blueland.com/thisgoldenhour, and I will leave that link for you right here as well as in the description box below. Thank you so much to Blue Land for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Okay, next up I'm going to focus on these hamburger rolls here. I have not made these for a little while, so I'm excited to have a batch of them again. I mixed this chocolate chip cookie dough days ago, probably 3 days ago now, so it has been calling my name in the fridge. It's not, I guess, a fall recipe per se, although I did add pecans this time. I would love to know from you in the comments below, what is your current favorite fall baked good? I want to know the savory stuff too, but today I especially want to know the baked goods because I can use all of the ideas. I am using my big cookie scoop. If you've been around for a while, you know that I love me some big like bakery style cookies. I'd rather serve the kids half a cookie than to make tiny cookies. So that's just kind of been my thing for a while now. I'm gonna go ahead and bake these. I bake these like 10 to 12 minutes. I would say I kind of keep an eye on them because they are so big. But before I throw them in there, I want to put some flaky sea salt on here. If you have not already done that, it is a fantastic way to really elevate chocolate chip cookies. But maybe before we pop these cookies into the oven, I could just take a moment to thank you guys for being here. Somebody left a comment the other day saying, this is the nicest comment section on YouTube, and I have to say I totally agree. And I've been so incredibly grateful for just your kind support, but not even just kind support to me. I absolutely love seeing you interact with each other in the comments and encouraging each other, and that's truly what this is all about. Just a community of women loving on each other and cheering each other on, because we're all in this together. Even though we might be in different walks of life, different seasons of our lives, I just love the camaraderie that y'all are showing each other in the comments. So keep it up. Thank you so much for your kindness to me week after week. I recognize a lot of your names in the comment section, and I feel like I kind of get to know you a little bit that way too. So that's just really a highlight of my week, always reading your comments. I try to respond to as many as I can, although I know I don't nearly get to all of them, but I hope you just know how much I appreciate you and how much it means to me that you just keep coming back here, and I hope that in return you also gain something from these videos and from our time together on here. I mentioned in my It's Time to Tackle the Kitchen video where I was decluttering the kitchen that I don't like to have a lot of extra things on hand, and this is a prime example. So I'm actually out of cookie sheets now with the dinner rolls. I have one batch of cookies in the oven, and so I'm just actually using my pizza stone to keep baking cookies because I have more batter left, and it's just one way that I make do with a lot less pans and things in my kitchen, and I really don't miss it. Like, it totally works to bake cookies on a pizza stone. So that's where I'm gonna put my next batch. did not realize how I need my cookie sheets for nearly every single recipe that I'm doing here today. But next up, I want to make this pie that we want to put into our ice cream. We're having pie and ice cream just with a different twist. I should have probably taken this out a little sooner. Pie crust gets so hard in the fridge. But I think what I'm gonna do today is, or my plan was to do this in a cookie sheet. I'm not really going for looks. I'm just gonna cut it up in little chunks. And that way I can make sure I get it nice and thin, because what I want is the base with the apples in it. And so I'm gonna roll this out, and then my very favorite apple pie is coming up. This crust is a sourdough pie crust. It has also been in the fridge now for a couple of days. I will try to remember to leave this one for you in the description box below, as well as a different one that is not sourdough if you are not into sourdough. But this pie, if you do even if you use a different pie crust, although I love these two, but the apple, and then it's kind of like a set custard that the apples are in, we absolutely love it. It is such a fun fall treat. So even if you're not making the entire ice cream, I highly recommend adding this apple pie to your fall baking list. Okay, we're looking a little rough. That's okay. We will just press it in. I don't even always roll out my pie crust. Sometimes I'll literally just piece it together in my pan and call it good. This crust is pretty thick right now, which is actually perfect for ice cream. Alright, our chocolate chip cookies are done. The kids will love these with a glass of raw milk. Okay, I'll have the exact recipe linked in the description box, but first up I made a crumb mixture, and we're gonna put half of this in the bottom of the pie crust now, and then the other half will actually go over top of the apples. I think especially leading into the holidays and fall, it's so fun to make delicious recipes, but also recipes that have some nostalgia, along with, of course, trying new ones all the time. For the apples, I'm not shredding them in. I think some apple pies do that. I'm actually just cutting them in half, face down, and then we'll put the crumb mixture as well as cream. There is another variation of this recipe that actually uses lemon juice and, is it water? But I love doing it with cream. It just makes it a little bit creamy in the custard then. So I'll put my last apple in here, and then we'll be ready to top it with that. It with the other crumbs, and then 2/3 cups heavy cream. This is from our Jersey cow. Could totally also just use store-bought. Drizzle that all around, and then I like to also sprinkle it with a bunch of cinnamon. Okay, ready to bake. Well, I have about an hour left until noon, so I am trying to get things done. Next up, I have a batter of sourdough graham crackers here. These are such a favorite. We did these for s'mores a couple weeks ago, and they were delicious. If Josh and the kids had their way, we would never buy graham crackers again and just use these, because they are honestly way more tasty than bought like the honey-made graham crackers or any graham crackers really. So they are very rewarding to make, but crackers and things like cereals are so much work to make, because you're literally cutting each of them out. But is it worth it? I think if it doesn't totally drive you crazy, it probably is. Sometimes I will have this dough be a little bit stiffer, and then I'll actually just run it through my pasta roller, which works amazing to get it rolled nice and thin, because that's the thing with crackers. In order for them to be nice and crispy, you do need to roll the dough out nice and thin. But I feel like I didn't get mine quite stiff enough for that, and when that's the case, they just break in the pasta roller. And so I'm just gonna roll them out like this, and then I think I'll use my little heart cookie cutter to punch these out. You may as well make it fun if you're making your own anyways. And these are not for s'mores, so that makes them even more perfect for snacking. I'm gonna punch these out, and then I actually like to throw them in the freezer a little bit before I bake them, which will come in nice because my hamburger rolls are waiting to get in the oven and I still have my apple pie in, so. Okay, well that was fun while it lasted, but for the sake of time, I am going to go ahead and do the rest of mine in just squares, rectangles, something like that, because I do not have all day to play with crackers.
Tell me what it feels like to let go of everything you thought you'd ever known. All of the promises they broke. Tell me what it feels like to let go. Tell me what it feels like to break free.
All right, the hamburger rolls are ready to go in the oven, so I just mixed up this egg wash. We're gonna brush that on, and then I need to see what I have on hand, but we'll put something on here. Of course, salt or sesame seeds, and then bake them. You can see they've puffed up a good bit, but they really puff up then when you put them in the oven. So if they're not like super tall at this point, I would not worry.
And all of the things you thought you needed, they turn into dust and make believe. Tell me what it feels like to break free.
It is time to take our beautiful apple pie and chop it up. So let's get right to it. My goal with this is I don't want just smush. I want good crunch. I want a lot of texture, which is my whole purpose for adding this. Well, and of course the flavor. But I'm gonna start by just taking out a quarter of the pie, if this works. Put it on here, and then we'll chop it. All right, and then we'll spread it out and put it in the freezer so that it can chill completely. All right, well, it is right after 12 now, 12:15 to be exact. And I am not quite done. I still have my graham crackers here to actually bake. They're cut and ready to go. But Josh and the kids are gonna come in for lunch. So I thought they would really enjoy coming in to a table full of baked goods. It's always so fun cooking for them because they give the best reactions and always get so excited to try everything. So these rolls, by the way, I guess I never showed you when they were done baking. They are so soft and like squishy, pillowy soft. So I think that we'll do burgers tonight. Wow, that feels good and productive. I love that. I have another pan here of graham crackers, and I do also have the one pan of hamburger rolls still baking, and then our ice cream. Okay, I promise I will not go until I've shown you the ice cream because that is my personal favorite. I'm a big ice cream girl. I try to watch how many carbs I have, so a lot of this my family will probably be enjoying, but the ice cream, that's mine. Well, to share. I won't eat the whole thing myself, but I'm really looking forward to that. So anyways, I had cooked a big, actually a couple packs of chicken 2 days ago. So this was a quick dinner yesterday. Hudson picked some carrots from the garden for me. I made some noodles, and that's gonna, whoop! That is gonna be lunch for everyone. And I'm sure they'll be snacking on some baked goods here then as well.
Salmon, apple pie, muffins, and cookies.
It's a few hours later now, so I'm gonna check my ice cream, see if we're ready to stir in the mix-ins. Yeah, I think we could put them in. I do want it to just freeze fairly solid after that then, but I think we're ready to put it in. So I got out, you have something to say too? I know. You want to tell them that you just brushed your 6th tooth? 6? I cannot believe it. Okay, so I got a piece of parchment paper here, and what I'm gonna do is kind of like Cold Stone Creamery style, if you know what I mean. I think this is how they did it. They always mix their ice cream on the counter, and that actually seems to work the best. The thing with a deeper container like this is when you stir in these add-ins, you stir too much, and so you don't get those nice like ripples or like clusters. It's more just everything is stirred evenly, which is not what we're going for with this. It's more of a, I just want to fold them in, and so that's why I like to rather do it on my countertop like this. Now with homemade ice cream, you do have to work pretty quickly. I like to just get my bench scraper and kind of press this down. And then put all these delicious apple pie pieces on top. Press that in. And then I'm just gonna gently fold it over a couple times. All right, and then we're gonna spoon it back in our container. It's a little messy, but a lot delicious. Let's put the rest of this in here. We are dripping off the counter. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of straighten this out, and then ideally I would let this sit in the freezer overnight now to get a perfect like hard ice cream consistency. But I may pull it out later to try a little early. Just gonna cut up a little bit of this pie crust on top. Sprinkle of love, and to the freezer. Alright, well I had a lot of fun spending the morning baking in my kitchen. I hope you were inspired, maybe gave some inspiration. I'm excited to read what you guys are making in the comments below, so don't forget to leave those for me. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. You want to say bye? Say bye, friends.